What's up, y'all? It's your host with the most, your artist working the hardest, Mr. McKinnon. I'm always winning. Back with another episode of Main Event Mindset Podcast. We're going to talk about the Clash in Paris pay-per-view that happened over the weekend. The Fatal 4-Way match between Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, CM Punk, and LA Knight. We're going to talk about Roman Reigns and how he's going to be going off to film that new Street Fighter movie and the closing angle they had at the end of that match. All of that and more on today's episode of the Main Event Mindset Podcast. Buckle up. Thank y'all so much for joining me here today. I wanted to make a special announcement, an official announcement. I am going to be the interim ring announcer for the Establishment Wrestling, TEW. It's a local promotion here in Orlando, Florida. They have two locations, one at the Armory or the Empire Arena, and then they also do events at the Tavern East in Orlando, Florida. I will be the interim ring announcer for the Tavern East on the dates that you see below on the screen there. You can follow the Establishment Wrestling. Make sure you follow them. Come out to a show. Make sure that you come support us. Get your tickets in their bio and all of those things. But yes, if you love the sound of my voice, you want to hear me call some matches and introduce some things, that's where you can come out and see me for the rest of the year. So make sure that you come out to the Establishment Wrestling, TEW. It's an amazing, amazing time. Opening up the first match of Clash in Paris is the Tribal Thief, Bronson Reed, coming out with Paul Heyman wearing his Shula Fala, which is the Jordans that he stole off of Roman Reigns' shoes 2 weeks in a row, versus the Tribal Chief. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Always, son, you got to acknowledge the Tribal Chief. So this match did everything that it was supposed to. First of all, Roman Reigns' entrance and all these things, this segment was like an hour long. But from the start of the pay-per-view to that, I said, this is crazy, right? But the crowd in France, in Paris, France specifically, was absolutely electric. I know why they went there again, because last year in Lyon, France, at Backlash, the crowd was nuts. They had to get that same vibe again. The story going into this match, of course, like I said, Bronson Reed, he took Roman Reigns' shoes. This guy's a schoolyard bully. You know what I mean? It's he's the what they call him? The Auszilla, because he's from Australia. But Bronson Reed finally talked about his Samoan heritage and, talking about that he's the one from, he's the part of the Samoan dynasty. His tribe was shipped off to Australia because they were unrefined. They were too savage, right? Building up his chaotic, monstrous persona. So this guy beat people up, take their shoes, do tsunami splashes, breaking your ribs. Can't nobody touch me or see me, son. That's the energy that Bronson Reed is on. So then you got the Tribal Chief, of course. This man is fighting for his pride. He's fighting for his shoes back. He didn't say that, but he's fighting for his shoes back, and he's fighting for his honor. So Roman Reigns, of course, is a traditional Roman Reigns style match. It's slow in the beginning, and then, of course, it picks up. Bronson Reed, obviously, is built like the immovable object. Roman Reigns does end up overcoming him, of course, to the chagrin of Paul Heyman. Now, one of the major spots in this match for me was Roman Reigns going for a spear and Bronson Reed just no-selling it like he's the Blob. Like Roman Reigns just sunk into him. All of his momentum just stopped. It just completely stopped while Roman Reigns was going for a spear. Never happens. And then he reversed that into a sit-out powerbomb. It looked fantastic. Made Bronson look like a monster. Go back and watch the match. The main thing about this match is more so the closing angle. Of course, Roman Reigns does his thing. He comes out with two Ulafalas, by the way, telling more of a story to represent his father, Sika, and Afa, his uncle of the Wild Samoans. He came out wearing the red Ulafala and the black Ulafala. So one time for the family. Dun, dun, dun. Ah! Now, he did all of that. He overcame, represented his family, all of the beatdowns on the previous shows, hit him with the spear, 1, 2, 3. After the match, Paul Heyman is on the floor. He's looking down at Bronson Reed. And then he looks behind him. Roman Reigns is there. He says, "Give me my shoes." He gives him his shoes. He goes, "I love you, my Tribal Chief. I love you, my Tribal Chief." He's sucking up to him again after he betrayed him at WrestleMania. He gives him his shoes back. After he gets his shoes back, he puts Paul Heyman in the guillotine. We haven't seen Roman Reigns do the guillotine headlock in a long time, I feel like. And so he put Paul Heyman in this. Paul Heyman is down for the count. He's actually written off TV because on Monday Night Raw, they said he had a crushed larynx, so Paul Heyman is not going to be around for a while. What happens after is the main thing. Roman Reigns takes his shoes, he starts signing them, and he throws them into the crowd in France, right? Sees Jelly Roll, he sees all these people showing him love, he throws the shoes into the crowd. Soon as he's done throwing the shoes into the crowd, out of the corner, freaking Fear the Spear, Braun Breaker spears this man through the announce table, right? He spears him again, goes into the ring, spears him another time. Bronson Reed comes in, does 2 tsunami splashes. This guy, they got this man stretchered on a gurney. This man is being destroyed. No help. Who comes out? Main event, Jey Uso. Why this is important? Because on Monday Night Raw, Jey Uso was told by Roman Reigns, what are you so worried about? What are you so pent up about? Like, you ain't been here before. Like, you ain't been a champion. Like, you ain't been the top guy. He goes, stop worrying about everybody else and start worrying about you. You know what I mean? Go out there and do it for yourself. You helped everybody. You helped me. You helped the bloodline. You helped all these people. Go out there and do it for you. But Jey Uso, he saw his cousin getting murked in the middle of the ring, and he was like, I got to go ahead and do something about it. Comes down, tries to help him and save him. He gets speared too. Get the brakes beat off him too. Then they do another tsunami to Roman Reigns while he's on the stretcher. Roman Reigns, then when he's doing that and they're trying to get him out of the ring, Braun Breaker again. More spears. This man is written off TV. You ain't going to see this man for a long time. They even said on Monday Night Raw, this man has multiple broken ribs. But so that you're not worried, Roman Reigns has to go and shoot Street Fighter. He is going to be Akuma in the new Street Fighter movie, along with Cody Rhodes as well, who Cody Rhodes is going to be playing Guile. So that's how that happened. Hot angle, making reason for Roman Reigns to not be on TV. Roman Reigns is on the podcast with Stephanie McMahon. What's your story? He's had a lot of things. We'll probably break that down and unpack that in another time. But there's enough Roman Reigns content out there, so don't worry, Tribal Chief followers. Your Tribal Chief will be back at some point. Probably, we're in September? Probably Royal Rumble time. You know what I mean? You know how it goes with the part-time Roman Reigns schedule. So we'll see what happens there. Moving on to the next match. Right. Next on the match, we had Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, the Street Profits, versus the Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy. Uncle Howdy sitting on ringside, and the Street Profits come out as Borderlands characters. I was trying to figure out what they were dressed as, but everything's a marketing campaign here. They came out dressed as Borderlands. This match to me was fine. Now, I have to tell you guys something. I love the Street Profits. I told you guys here, I want to elevate and hype up and talk about all of the dope black talent that they got. They don't get a lot of spots on the pay-per-views. Not the men, anyway. The women, shout out to Bianca, shout out to Jade, shout out to Naomi, who is pregnant, and she's gone right now. But the Street Profits don't really get a lot of pay-per-view matches like that. So I wanted to make sure that I watched this match. And the internet, for a large portion of them, they want to see Montez Ford go solo so bad. They do. But then there's another sector where it's like, man, all the tag teams always break up. We don't even have enough teams. We don't have enough black tag teams. Like, they need to stay together, show that y'all can be at the top and rise to the top together. You know what I mean? It's a metaphor. It's like, this is wrestling, but like, let this be a metaphor for the community. Like, we want to see tag teams be successful. Let's, it's working. Let's work together. Let's stay together, right? In this match, it's the first time Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford show some type of dysfunction in the middle of the match. They was arguing about who's going to start. Dawkins puts his hand out to stop Montez Ford from starting the match and say, this is what I'm doing. They haven't done that before. Then Montez Ford tags himself back into the match rather aggressively. And so we start to see a little bit of miscommunication to dissent. Street Profits been on a tag team for like 7-8 years. Amazing tag team. But after having so many amazing hype and promo videos, having so many amazing moments where it's like the Street Profits make you believe that they're the ones, and they always say, we want the smoke. It's like when it comes time to win, they come up short more often than not. And it hurts. It sucks being a fan and you're watching your favorite team lose all the time. Y'all watch sports. You know what I mean? So you want to believe in these people. These are your guys. And it's just like, man, come on. Why can't we make it? Cowboys fans, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not relating the Street Profits to the Cowboys, but I know Cowboys fans, if you're watching me, you can relate to defeat. I'm just saying. Cowboys, hey man, I got my producer telling me, hey, watch it. I'm just saying that the last time that the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, Windows 97 was cutting edge technology. That's all I'm saying. Tupac was still alive. That's all I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying. But it's all good. It's all good. We're focusing on the Street Profits right now because Street Profits are tag team champions. They're former tag team champions. They lost them in July, and then they were facing Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis in this match. The match was fine. You had the dissension story wasn't a whole lot. I love that Angelo Dawkins has improved so much because people were counting out Dawkins for so long. People were saying that Dawkins is dead weight. He's the one, like Montez is the star, this, that, and the third. But Angelo Dawkins has been improving in his ring work, improving in his promo work. You know what I mean? He's not dragging Montez down. He's a solid worker and he holds his own. People just like Montez because he's, the aesthetics, his high flying, he's charismatic. He's got all of these different things, but Dawkins makes up for more than what people give him credit for. And in this match, they just came up short. They did the Wyatt Six, ended up winning with what they call what did Michael Cole call it? I forgot what it's called, but either way, it's a suplex sit-out powerbomb combination. And after there was a miscommunication, and freaking Uncle Howdy did a Sister Abigail to Montez Ford on the outside, and the referee didn't see it. That was the beginning of the end. Uncle Howdy got involved, and that's why the Street Profits lost. And everybody loves the Wyatt Six. A lot of people love the Wyatt Six. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Love that he had a crazy mind. Here in Orlando, if you're listening, Universal Studios, they have a Halloween Horror Nights built off of Bray Wyatt's idea of The Fiend. He said that was one of his dreams, to have a Halloween Horror Nights haunted house based off of his ideas, because his Fiend character was about horror stories and things like that. And they have that. They just started posting pictures this week. And so I think that's great. Love Bray Wyatt. Not a huge fan of the Wyatt Six. It's just hard for me to get into them. The supernatural gimmicks that happened in the 80s and the 90s with the Undertaker that worked. Undertaker was kind of passing that to Bray Wyatt after Taker retired in that match with AJ Styles. And then Bray, unfortunately, he died early. I like the ideas, I like the creativity, but I just feel like something about the Wyatt Six as a team doesn't stick or resonate as much, even with their match at SummerSlam with the tag title match with all that multi-man team. The crowd, when they won, they weren't super enthusiastic about it. They were like, okay, that happened. And then the cheers came. But the initial thing wasn't like they have people that connect with them as characters strongly. So I want to see all these teams succeed. I'm a wrestling fan. I don't want to see nobody go down. I don't want to see nobody, get torn apart or overly criticized. But I'm just calling what I see, and I'm just letting you know what the vibes are. So, congrats to the Wyatt Six for retaining the tag titles. Hopefully they do more, because the SmackDown tag division is excellent. There's certain things that should be adjusted, and we'll see what happens over time with their story. Next up, we have the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Becky Lynch, the defending champion, and the returning Hall of Famer Nikki Bella on this run. Nikki Bella was supposed to feud with Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan is out injured due to a match botch with Kairi Sane, so they changed all of these things up, right? Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch have been having great promo segments on Monday Night Raw, and if you follow me on TikTok, at Main Event Mindset Podcast, you'll know all of the promo things that were talked about. If you want more details there, make sure you follow me. Now, they were going back and forth, getting real personal. Becky Lynch was making all of these personal jokes, talking about, don't talk about my hot husband. This is Becky Lynch, right? She's talking about Seth Rollins, my hot husband, and all this stuff. She's also talking about my hot husband and how she's the greatest female wrestler of all time. She's like, it's not just me that's saying that. A lot of people are saying it. Sports Illustrated is saying it, right? She's just doing that every week. I'm not just saying it. It's Sports Illustrated. It's just, hey, I'm not talking myself up. But as Becky was talking up her husband and Nikki Bella said something about that, she goes, oh, speaking of that, she's like, I have a man. This is what is funny about drama in wrestling. Just be like, I have a man. Where's your man? Oh, that's right. You don't have him anymore. Oh, wait, what she say? You can't see him anymore. The crowd's like, man, crowd popped. And this is an episode of Monday Night Raw, but they're just find a way to make it personal. But Becky Lynch has been doing a masterful job with this Women's Intercontinental Championship because she is one of the more popular female wrestlers of this generation, of this era. And it's a mid-card title. And ever since Lyra lost to her at the last pay-per-view and she can't get a championship match, they have to make this title mean something. And what better way to make it mean something than put it on one of your biggest stars? And Nikki Bella's a Hall of Famer. She has a huge fan base coming from reality TV, all of these things, and being a wrestler, then having more success in reality TV than coming back to wrestling. But this match of itself, ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry to tell you. I know this is pro wrestling. I know I'm an entertainer. I'm a host. I don't have a lot of good things to say about this match. I'm not gonna hold you. The match happened. That's not a. I think Becky Lynch is great. I think Nikki Bella is good. She has her good moments, but the chemistry in this match just wasn't there, and that happens sometimes. It was a high profile match. I'm trying to think of like the really good things, like the spots, and it's just difficult. What I can say is that the finish, Becky Lynch, she ended up getting over a what is it? The way she won the last match against Lyra Valkyria, she did a. I should know these moves. This is terrible. It's not a sunset flip, but she did like a what's that move? You guys are gonna show me here on the for those that can see visually, where you have the person here and then you bring them down and then you pin their shoulders to the mat that way. It's a very simple move. It's brain fog. It's Labor Day. Just blame it. I'm gonna blame it on that. But either way, Becky Lynch wins with a roll up type pin, and we're done with that feud for now because Becky Lynch was the biggest part of this show at the closing angle, and we're gonna talk about that soon. So next on the match, we had on the match card, we had Sheamus versus Rusev in their feud. They were one match apiece. This is the rubber match in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, which basically is a fancy word of saying no DQ, but it's got some Irish elements to it because Sheamus is Irish. They had the kegs on the outside, the barrels that were allegedly full of beer, because Ireland is known for drinking. So it's St. Patrick's Day, all of the things, right? So this match is everything that you would expect Sheamus and Rusev to do. Two big dudes, powerhouses. It's gonna be physical, lots of solid shots. You had, goodness gracious, you had Sheamus doing a white noise through to Rusev off of some apparatus through the tables. You had Rusev doing the accolade to which is the camel clutch submission to Sheamus while they're on top of these barrels over at ringside. It's just a slugfest. It's just, if you want to see what you would imagine a bar fight to be with nobody stopping them, this is what this was like. And this match fits their style. I was very surprised to see Rusev get the victory here, but not just get the victory. Even though Rusev does have a submission finish, I expected Sheamus, if he was going to lose, to be pinned. But this man tapped. This man tapped in his match on pay-per-view, and that was surprising. So what that tells me, what I love, to me, that's good booking because Sheamus is over. Sheamus is popular. Rusev just came back after WrestleMania, if my timing is right, and he's reestablishing himself to this audience. Even though people know about him, he's reestablishing himself. And you don't want to have somebody that's newer, that's coming into their first big feud, and ending it in a loss, because then it's just like, well, why do I need to believe in this guy? This is why, again, wins and losses matter. This is why when people start losing faith in some of these wrestlers, it's because we don't think that they suck. They just booked bad. They just so they keeping Rusev alive and in the front of people's memories. And Rusev has a goal. He was on social media. He was on somewhere talking about him. He came back to be champion, and he feels like in AEW, he worked with a lot of people. He feels like he's the best. And so he came over here to be world champion. Now, a lot of people laughing at Rusev saying, LOL, who did you beat to be the best? But I feel like fan perspectives get not jaded, but it's just very easy to criticize someone when you don't do what they do. And no matter what sport it is, because you're the fan, right? You're not in there. And so that's why I'm slow to be heavily critical of people's skills. If they suck, they suck. But Rusev doesn't suck. He doesn't, not at all. He was gotten over with Rusev Day. He's gotten over, and he's fully capable. It's just a matter of finding those um, the right equation to get him to a point where he would be taken serious as a champion. And so that's for him to figure out, and that's for WWE to figure out. But either way, Rusev going over, I think, was the right decision here. Keeps him hot. And then so when he goes to climb the charts or climb the ladder, you know, he has to maintain that momentum. Sheamus gave him momentum into this since he's the bigger star, and that's for Rusev to now take that and take it on to the next challenger. So we'll see what happens with Rusev's career and Sheamus as well. So that was that. If you want to watch a bar fight, go watch the match. Boom. Now we have the next match, which was critically the match of the night. John Cena, the Never Seen 17, here to grace your presence in Paris for one final time. As they say, the greatest of all time, John Cena. Iconic. Man, we got 8 more dates left. 8 or 9 more dates left, and then it's over, man. We ain't hearing the John Cena theme no more. After this, no more jorts, no nothing. But that crowd popped the loudest for John Cena tonight. The fans, oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about. This match was fantastic. And this match was like an homage to pro wrestling for multiple reasons. I'm choosing to call it as an homage. Somebody could call it swagger jacking or move stealing or biting or whatever the case may be. But this match to me was amazing for 2 reasons. John Cena not rewinded the clock, but it feels like it. He knows that he's gonna be retired soon, so he's doing his best to put on the best matches of his career. He did it at SummerSlam with Cody Rhodes. That washed the stink off of that WrestleMania match. That was fantastic. Cena was laying into Logan Paul on the promos. Again, follow me on TikTok and on my YouTube shorts if you want to see more about the promo segments between John Cena saying some real stuff about Logan Paul. Calling him a parasite, calling him like, you're not gonna ruin, or you're not gonna even ruin wrestling. Wrestling is gonna ruin you if you don't start being real and you're using all of these props, this prime stuff, all these things to save yourself. He talked about how, oh my gosh, he talked about how Logan Paul came to WWE because his influence was not as big as it used to be. He's like, they came out with a top 25 influencers list, and Logan Paul was nowhere on there. So all of this influence that you hyping yourself up talking about, you don't got it no more. You cooked. And he said he reads the news, and you always in the headlines for the wrong reasons. You got a lot of talent and personality, and you got a lot of physical gifts that people could dream about. But you're just you're fake, and people can see right through you. And until you get rid of all these props and all this stuff and show something real, then you're gonna be a giant disappointment. So John Cena cut this guy to shreds over 2 weeks of SmackDown. But in this match, Logan Paul is like a WWE 2K creator wrestler. Let me. If you're building a character, you're doing all of the moves of Logan Paul. Logan Paul is still a student. Let's remember this. Logan Paul's only had about 20-something matches. Logan Paul in this match, when I say it's an homage to pro wrestling, Logan Paul did a European uppercut, which, by the way, Michael Cole took time to call out Cesaro in this, who Cesaro hasn't been in the company for a long time. Last time Cesaro was in prominence, Roman Reigns was still in the Thunderdome. And, defeating the one championship match that Cesaro had back in 2020, 2021, something of that nature before he left to go to AEW. So I'm very surprised to hear a Cesaro reference on this pay-per-view last night. Then we had him doing the zigzag. Shout out to Dolph Ziggler, who was in WWE, but that's his finisher. He's now in TNA. Then you had him doing Hangman Adam Page, AEW's Hangman Page, doing the buckshot lariat. Then you had, which we know that he's been doing for a while. Adam Page does it better, but this isn't about that. This is about homage to wrestling. Then let's talk about this. I'm getting hyped. Yes. Because not enough people talk about D'Lo Brown. I don't care what you say. D'Lo Brown was a black wrestler in the 90s. He was a European champion. That was his claim to fame. I think he was Intercontinental champion. Somebody's gonna correct me because all the wrestling purists and the fact checkers and historians always do. However, D'Lo Brown was most notably known for his European Championship run, and this guy does a frog splash in a unique way, and it's called the lowdown. When he puts his hands between his legs and then comes down, he does it a very unique way. And I don't think D'Lo Brown gets enough shout out and love, so that's why I'm here. I'm here to highlight D'Lo Brown. I see you. I know the man retired. He's a chef now. All that kind of stuff don't matter. But shout out to D'Lo Brown. Put some respect on that man's name. Then you had Logan Paul doing Jeff Hardy's Swanton Bomb. Then you had him doing Cena's comeback. This man just took all of the, it's like, I'm gonna just do, I'm gonna just do it all. I'm gonna do all of the big pop moves. I'm gonna do it all. So Logan Paul being able to execute these moves is a credit to him. It's like, it's fantastic. John Cena. John Cena did Baron Corbin's End of Days finish. I saw that and I was like, yo, End of Days, the first time I saw it, I popped so big where I was at the time because I never seen a finisher like that. Nobody was kicking out of that move for years. I forgot who the first person that kicked out of it was, but that move was only kicked out of like once or twice. It was super protected. But John Cena busting out the End of Days, showing homage to Baron Corbin, and I think that that's dope because Baron Corbin is, he was a great worker. He had great matches with a lot of people, underutilized, failed Money in the Bank cash-in attempt because, politics and all those things, but he had one of the best finishers ever, period. I don't care what nobody say. And then Cena does the amazing, he does the Code Red, which he's known to do, but he did that also. He also, oh my gosh, he was pulling out the stops. And they were in France, and he called out AJ Styles in a promo earlier in the week saying that the people feel like he is wasting his remaining dates on this retirement tour with Logan Paul. And they want to see me face people like AJ Styles and Jacob Fatu. So what did John Cena do? He's like, I can't face AJ Styles, but I'm going to show him some love. And he did a Styles Clash to Logan Paul in the middle of this match, which the things that made this match great was the callback to all of the different things with wrestling. It's like it was a history class in wrestling. And so the match was great. You had in the finish, John Cena kicked out of Logan Paul's right hand, which was a big deal. He did so many attitude adjustments, all of these finishers, ain't no more moves left. He got to a point where he got Logan Paul against the ropes, finished him off with that attitude adjustment, 1, 2, 3, crowd went crazy. It's just a great match. I know I just told you a lot of the moves out there, but like Shane Helms said, who's a producer at WWE right now, Logan Paul is better than he has any right to be, and John Cena is better than more people will give him credit for. John Cena was not the ultimate tactician during his tenure, but he has sparks of greatness, and when he performs like this, it reminds you and it enforces what the company calls him as the greatest of all time. John Cena is very good. John Cena has great matches. Matches like this, leaving his legacy on this note, he keeps having these matches. More people are going to argue for John Cena to be on the Mount Rushmore and give him more credit, and I think that that's dope. So, shout out to you, John Cena. All right, now we have the main event of the evening. Seth Rollins defends his World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. Crowd is hot, like I mentioned before. This match was good. There's a fatal four-way match, what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? Say it with me. No disqualification. No disqualification. You know what no disqualification? Do you know what no disqualification means? Shenanigans will happen. They were fighting in the crowd, brawling. It got to a point where, all three of the baby faces wanted to jump Seth Rollins. They were on the same page for a little bit, but not too long. CM Punk actually started the match by kicking Jey Uso in the face, very similar to when when Shawn Michaels, Sweet Chin Music, Triple H at the start of the Triple Threat match in Survivor Series against John Cena for the WWE Championship. Call back. But no, Jey Uso, he kicked CM Punk in the face, at the end of Raw because Roman Reigns told Jey Uso he shouldn't trust CM Punk. That ties into some things here as well. This match has a lot of history and a lot of tie-ins with things together. CM Punk and Seth Rollins been feuding for forever. But the babyfaces did get on the same page for a little bit, stomping LA Knight and CM Punk took traded places, stomping out Seth Rollins in the corner. Then you had them agreeing to put Seth Rollins through the table. They were about to do that, but Jey Uso stopped it because he kicked CM Punk in the face again. Roman Reigns in his ear. Because the main event of WrestleMania was what? Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. And CM Punk took Roman Reigns' wise man from him. So that family history and that tying, that beef, that's why that happened. So they were going to put him through the table. Jey Uso ruined it. They start brawling on the outside, all of the match chaos and things like that. Everybody's hitting their finisher, getting their spots in. The main thing in this match, Seth Rollins stomps everybody. It's a good match to go back and watch. You know, seeing that this Seth Rollins stomps out everybody, and he leaves himself in the ring alone with CM Punk, so he could finish off CM Punk because the baby faces can't get it together. They can't get on the same page. Everybody wants to be world champion. So it's only so long before the communication breaks down. Seth Rollins puts a chair in the ring, goes to curb stomp CM Punk onto the chair. CM Punk moves out of the way. Seth Rollins is holding his leg because he hits metal instead of flesh. Punk takes this opportunity, picks him up, hits the GTS. Seth Rollins bounces against the ropes, falls, and gets draped over CM Punk's body. CM Punk is smiling, looking at the hard cam, taking longer than he usually does. And this is where it all went south. He's yelling out, "Go to sleep." Then we see a ninja behind him. Hits him with a low blow. We don't know what this figure is because I'm like, I ain't seen nobody so small. And all I see from here is white skin. Could be anybody. I'm like, this person's smaller than usual. I have no idea. Who's under that mask? What did I say earlier in the podcast? Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins' wife, came out, hit CM Punk with a low blow, allowed Seth Rollins to stomp CM Punk into the chair, picking up the victory. Seth Rollins retains his World Heavyweight Championship with the help of his wife. Why? Because Braun Breaker was banned from ringside. Bronson Reed was banned from ringside. And Seth Rollins always has backup. He has help. Reminds me of Edge, the ultimate opportunist. When you get your people banned from ringside, what do? You call in your family or you call somebody new. You find a way. Seth Rollins is the visionary. He is the revolutionary. He is Seth freaking Rollins, like the crowd says all the time. He found a way to escape. This was the biggest shocker of the night because I didn't see it coming. And having Beth and Seki... Oh! Beth and Seki. Hey, man, listen, man. When you talk for a living, stuff just slips out, man. I'm human, all right? Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch being on camera together as heels at the first time is good. When they did it as baby faces, it wasn't the greatest. It was cool, but as heels, it gives a different dynamic to it because now what that does is that opens up the door for what? CM Punk. He has a wife too. And her name is AJ Lee. And people have been wanting her to come back to WWE since she left. It's been about 10 years since she's been gone from that company. And there's no other reason to do this than to bring AJ Lee back. Everybody wants AJ Lee to come back to WWE. And the best way to do it would be in a mixed tag for a special appearance. And it just sets the tone. Even on Monday Night Raw. Even on Monday Night Raw tonight, where I'm shooting this, Raw already happened because it was over in the UK and it aired at 2 p.m. on the East Coast here in the States. So this is how I know that. They did a promo segment and Becky was standing up for Seth Rollins, saying that when he was gone, and the fans were chanting his CM Punk's name for 10 years. They were doing it over her matches. That's her beef with CM Punk. And then also everything that CM Punk says about Seth Rollins affects Becky Lynch too. It affects their family. I'm glad I brought this up because in the middle of the match, Seth Rollins, before he stomped CM Punk to oblivion, he said, "I hate you. I hate your family. I want you to never come back here. I want this to be your last match." Why would Seth Rollins out of nowhere say, "I hate you, I hate your family"? CM Punk's family ain't on TV. Only the bracelet that he had when he was in the feud with Drew McIntyre with his dog Larry and his wife AJ Lee on his bracelet. And they turned that into a storyline. So for Seth Rollins to say, "I hate your family," and CM Punk family ain't nowhere on TV, but Seth Rollins is, AJ Lee got to come back. If they do this and AJ doesn't come back, it is a giant waste of time. And it's a travesty against everyone. So, Becky Lynch slapped the mess out of CM Punk on Monday Night Raw, and then CM Punk looked straight into her and said, "I'm going to make Seth Rollins regret all of this, and I'm going to make you regret putting your hands on me." AJ Lee is going to be coming back. They're going to sell this WrestlePalooza. They're going to sell whatever pay-per-view it is, or make sure people go to ESPN and spend that $30 a month to subscribe. But, you could do like Stephanie McMahon did and tell the audience, like I'm telling you right now, if you get a VPN, I'm not sponsored by no VPN, not yet, but I will be. Get a VPN, put your Netflix to another country, and go ahead and watch your WWE programming there. Stephanie McMahon said it. So if you're going to yell at me, yell at her first. She worked for the company. I don't. I'm here as a wrestling fan to give all of the wrestling feels. So thank y'all so much for joining me on today's episode of Main Event Mindset Podcast, sponsored by Kraken Law Group. If you need any of your legal issues resolved, make sure you hit up Kraken Law Group. You can follow me again on all social media platforms at Main Event Mindset. You can follow me on Main Event Mindset Podcast on Instagram. All the information is there. Again, I cover YouTube Shorts. I cover Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, all of those segments, all those things, those little in-between things. If you don't want to miss in between the pay-per-views and interviews, make sure you follow me there. Join the community. Come be a part of the wrestling community. You know you love it. It's over here. It stays here. Share, like, subscribe, all of the things, man. Appreciate y'all. Until next time, WrestlePalooza, September 20th, and whatever pay-per-views happening in between then. Peace.